Don't know what keeps happening. Yeah, unsure. Um, yeah, unsure what's happening. All right. So, apologies for that. Anybody who was on stream and then just dipped out, we're not going to stay, I think, too long of a welcome tonight, given the fact that we're hitting this weird technical space. We won't go too much longer tonight, but we are going to do a couple things first. So, if for anybody who's missed, because the time just went out weird with our stream here, we determined that Leonidas Nighthall is the captain of the guard. He is the cousin of Tobias Nighthall, the patron and owner of the Rock Bottom Inn. So they're all kind of weeding through that knowledge, as well as a little bit that Zarya is about to start on about the book.
Yes. So I want to tell my party members about the chapters I observed that I observed that there's the 5 different chapters, what they are, and then also I want to tell them about the order in which the chapters are. And then since Elm is 1, right, and Maple is 2, I find it kind of strange that specifically 2 Maples were shot out when Doric shook the book, as opposed to any other number of Maples. So I think there could be a correlation to how many trees get chucked and slash or the severity of how many appear from the missing chapters based on their chapter number.
Okay. Very
And I
good.
want to tell them specifically this because that means we could potentially have 9 giant, massive sequoias, and I don't know what 10 forest fire would be, assume other than just a massive forest fire. If it is following that order.
Okay. So you've shared that with everybody. Everybody kind of has a sense of
Yep,
this
that's
book.
it.
And you do have a version of this somewhere in someone's inventory.
I actually think we returned it. Um,
I do. I don't believe you returned those books necessarily.
um, originally, on our session on 10/18/24, I had given them to Ferrari, but then we had a week away, and then I wrote that I spent some time returning the belongings that I had stolen from the university.
That you did.
Uh,
You gave that young person their rock back.
I think it was the rock,
Yep.
yeah. So
So you did.
maybe not the books.
I'm pretty sure Ferrari had still been holding on to the books, and
Okay,
also everybody was trying to determine some of those potions and things out of some of the other
yeah,
ones and stuff too. So I'm pretty sure
okay,
those are still kicking around.
okay.
Now, so now you know this. We'll assume that we'll take about like a half hour. Say that you guys have spent time with the axe. Well, no, axe 1 minute. So we've done 1 minute's worth of axing on both sides with 2 axes. So you started at least clear a little bit of the path there. But at this point, you can see that there are guards making their way up with tools and things of that nature. So it seems like somebody is going to take over taking care of this space with the trees that have been felled. So you can now decide to kind of keep going the direction you were going before, go in a new direction, kind of make the choice from there.
Um, Want to actually follow through with us turning in the quest for what was it for Groku or whatnot.
That sounds
So
good.
we can cap that off and have that handled at least.
Yeah. And then after that, I guess we'll see what happens. I have a couple things to do.
Nice. So you make your way, continue up to High Street. You're able to climb the hills and eventually pass through the gates. You can, one thing, and the only person who really kind of knows this from seeing it before, is that you can tell at the gates to High Street there are a bit of a guard presence that seems like it's there often. It's more like it has like a little outpost station at their main gates that lead up into High Street. One of the first places you pass is the young master's house. He's one of the first folks who's out there. But this is going to take you to an address that is further down the right hand side because the high street seems like it is built kind of like a circular path and then ending in a long street that leads up to some very grandiose mansion type houses. So You make your way down the right side, and Grim, give me just a perception check, if you would, please.
21.
Perfect. You get past the young master's house, and you really haven't spent too much other time up here, kind of pulling yourself up here. You've done a little bit of work here and there. But as you walk down, there's a couple things to keep in mind. You see the young master's house, a couple other outliers, but then you seem to find that there are a few names that, of that seem to repeat themselves on houses. As you go down, you find yourself seeing many houses with the names Metis, Nighthall, and especially very many with Kavanaugh.
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 And you will note that the leader in the city is also of the same name as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you make your way down to the end, and the address in question does have the name of Kavanaugh on the entryway, and you do see that there is a rope pull for bell. As you hear the doorbell go, you hear a bit of a shuffle around the other side, and the door opens. You all see a rather demure-looking young woman who seems very prim, proper, and very uptight in a set of servants' wear. Can I assist you?
Yes, we're here in regards to a quest that was tasked to the Rock Bottom Guild, and I hold out the sheet with the quest on it, and we've fulfilled the end of the quest.
Oh, is he here? Is he here?
He's no longer with us on this plane, mortal or otherwise.
You see with that bit of knowledge that there's a bit of a softening, Ferrari, of the woman in front of you. Is it recently or no?
Yesterday.
I think it was 2 days ago, was it not? Because
I think
we took we took the day because
yes,
of
yes,
the headache and all the other stuff. Yeah, so
yes,
it's been
yes.
it's been about 2 days.
Oh, okay. Good. I will let the head of house know. Hold on one moment.
Sure.
And she disappears out towards a back hallway. You really can't see very far down inside. You can see that there is a very set up an entry corridor. She comes back, and she comes back with what appears to be a sack of gold. Can you
Damn.
This is meant for the missing poster. I can you just you take it for letting know, and I'll make sure that they're aware here in the house.
Surely. Can I insight check? She was very relieved sounding, so
Go ahead.
her demeanor.
Now knowing the person who opened the door, do I know of this person being from this city for a while?
You do not. And you will note, one thing you do know from the city, in fact, for a while, is that you don't actually get to see many folks who live on High Street. They don't regularly they don't regularly spend time in broader society. More folks who are servants do, and sometimes you know some of them. The person you know the most, you know the young master, and you also know a woman that you would have cured from some level of gout up there that I'm assuming that you got up there from earlier. But that's for the most part anybody who seems like they're of a very high station for up there.
Seeing that this is last name comes from the same person who runs the town, what's the person's actual name?
You only know that Kavanaugh is on the manse.
But what would his title be for the city?
Oh, let's see.
Like mayor or
For the city of Enferacuse. So the person in question, and this will be common knowledge to all of you. The city of Enferacuse is run also by, where is he? Hold on, I just changed the page where he was on. It is Silas Kavanaugh. Silas is the one who is the mayor.
I'll chime in and just say, are you in relations with Mr. Silas Kavanaugh? By chance. Or just a family friend?
Um, I am going to go back to the perception you had, and you will note the bit of stiffness and anxiety has returned. Yes, we serve the House of Kavanaugh and anything that it needs.
Shit. I didn't. Okay. This is a lot of lore dropping tonight because I'm realizing now the student that I've been tutoring is Axiom Kavanaugh.
Yep. That is
accurate. Now, I visited him to do tutoring. Was I doing it only at his school, or was I also coming to his home? Because it said something about I had an address.
You did, but it's still it was still within the Forgotten Flame. He is there.
Okay. So he doesn't, we don't tutor him at his own estate. Okay. I look at her and I'm just like, I'm not sure if it's of any matter to your masters or mistresses here, but Axiom's tutoring is going quite well.
Oh, very good, very good.
He's a very apt student.
Just, I don't you don't need to disturb him with this silly search or anything. No need to harm his studies or anything of that nature.
Oh, of course not. I just thought I would share the news. He is doing excellent work.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Also, my insight was a 14. I never did get around to that.
You can, thank you for telling me, you can tell that she seems like she's being honest with you, but maybe not with honest intention going forward.
Well, if you or the Kavanaugh family, and I emphasize when I say it, I say you, like kind of strongly, or the Kavanaughs need any help from our humble group, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. And she moves her way back into the entryway and closes the door. You now have a bag of 300 gold pieces to take back. You currently have a bag of 300 gold that can go back with you.
We're putting that in a backpack so that once we leave this high estate area, nobody's looking at us walking around with a heavy ass pouch of gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Damn. As we're walking, I'm just like, yeah, she's holding back some stuff, but unless she comes to us or we meet her out on the road, out on the side of out on the town, she's not going to talk to us up front. And damn, I don't know why I didn't see it sooner, but the kid that I've been tutoring is related to these people, including the you said it was the mayor was the big guy?
So, you know that the mayor of Enferacuse is Silas Kavanaugh. Um,
I
but
don't know
you
what their relation is though.
but Grimm may have noted is there's more than one house up there with the name Kavanaugh on it.
Can we get any kind of idea of how many Kavanaughs are up here? Like how many houses?
You can do the loop, like I said. The nature of this, and you can see it on the design, is a bit of a loop. Is for this on the map, and so you can make your way, decide to go all the way around and kind of do that. Then there is the one little bit of road that leads to the larger manse, but that's about it.
Okay, where is the map? Map. There it is. Okay, so there are
Think of
eight,
your
9, 10, 11,
entry.
12.
Yeah, the entry in there is going to be circular because you can see that it kind of goes around that squaring, so you can easily make your way around that. With that back right corner is going to be where those manses are, those ones that are up there.
So there's 12 primary houses, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a huge one, which is probably the mayoral estate.
Yes, you're taking it the right way. Again, I'm going to fudge the number of places because again, that is maybe not as important, but the thing to think about because if you guys want to take the action, I'll give you an idea of what you're looking at in terms of space up there. So, doing the roam around.
Unless the group says otherwise, Ferrari definitely would be want to just kind of get a scale on how many there are.
Very, very good. You're going to note that as you go around, there is probably about 3 metis out there over the space. There is 5 night hall. There is, where are you? 2, 3, 5. There is 5 Kavanaugh. And there is about another 6 of variety, just other folks, including the young master's house.
How do you spell that last name?
Kavanaugh?
No, you said Kavanaugh, Nighthall, Menace, and then the what?
Oh, the other 6 are just a array of different names. 6 individual different names on there. The only one who really has come to mind at this point, if you really want to keep them in mind, is, and again, I'm going to get his last name in here because I do have it in here back in this episode stuff. It's not there. You already cured him. I gotta find him again. I kept the young master as part of how I remembered him in my head. Almiris, I believe, is the young master's last name.
What was the spelling of the first one? The one that was only 3?
Oh, Metis, Meddes.
Meddes.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Oh, that's what you note as you walk around. We're gonna do one other thing. Dura, give me a perception check.
Oh no. Are we going to get the talkie boy coming finding us in the middle of the
21, I'm ready.
Awesome. So at one of the, where are they? Let me figure out the right spot. At one of the Kavanaugh ones, right near the end after you finish your way out, it's raining. You see on a front porch, you see Artemis, the head of the Hunters Guild, just sitting there sharpening a sword.
Oh. I kind of wave him down. Hey, what are you doing here?
Well, I don't live down at the guild hall necessarily all the time.
That doesn't mean that you live necessarily right here.
Well, I don't want to live here necessarily either. I'd rather be out in tent out there most days. Not today though. This is awful out here.
Which part's awful? The rain? You're not a rain person?
The rain's fine. It's bad, and I have tent repair that I have to do that I've been lax on, but that's fine. But it's more so I don't necessarily like spending quite a lot of my time up here. It's not doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I know these hoity-toity people type. They just get on my nerves.
Be nice. Is I guess the best way to say it is, Mom and Dad have a nice space here, and I come here when I have to.
Ah. What's your reason for visiting today?
I don't want to spend the time out in that wet tent, and everybody down there is gambling right now over hair pelts. Apparently, a few of them have ran into random hairs down and away. Sometimes they're trying to bet on it.
So why aren't you betting on it?
They're not my game. I like a good elk. But yeah, what are you do? What are you doing up here?
Oh, swinging trees into other trees.
You get a really like trying to interpret what you're saying kind of look.
Oh, I kind of catch this and like, oh, don't think too hard. I then point over to the two trees.
That's a different part of town.
It is not able to be viewed, but it's pretty darn close to where you could by the looking down aspect. It's not terribly far away from that, but it's probably one house too far to get the right look down the street that leads up.
I thought it'd be easy to see two 30-foot long trees just in an area.
They're knocked down. You didn't plant them. They are down. They were covering the roadway. Then people were going to go cut them apart.
Okay, I misinterpreted that scene way differently.
Okay. No, you did not. You did not plant them. You body slammed it with a tree on tree to the ground.
Yeah, I know. I was picturing more like skewering it with the other, but you know what? That's fine. Both work. Both work.
Okay, fair.
Maybe he heard the commotion down in the down a ways when that happened. But unless he walked down there, bud, I mean, now that the guard are cutting up the two trees that were summoned by that book.
Are you talking about the large crash thing?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, well.
Smacking the one tree with the other tree before it ran into a cart full of porcelain items.
Whoa. Book, magic book, trees. You're putting out way too much information for somebody who didn't see it. I smashed a tree with another tree. Keep it simple.
I mean, it makes it no less impressive.
Did you say it did avoid the porcelain, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank God. I might have ordered something to make up for a bit of an arrow accident in the house, and I didn't need to order another one. Okay, good.
An arrow accident in the house. Oh God, you two get along great, don't you? That sounds like.
I mean, not really. Why the hell would you shoot an arrow in a house? That sounds very irresponsible.
To be fair, Mother does not like mice, and it allows me to get target practice in.
Completely, like, ignoring his own things of safety ignorance while reprimanding him.
But there you are. Well, I guess if it's taken care of, it's taken care of. Well, take care. Hope best in the hunt.
If you need help with anything, you know where to find us.
We'll do. And again, I think you are kind of missed by everyone because you haven't stopped by in a while. But Cook doesn't miss you as much, but you already knew that.
Yeah, Cook sucked. I found a new guy. Call him Big Man. He's great.
He's not much for words yet.
Is the food good?
Oh yeah.
I might have to stop. Okay.
Recommend highly.
All right. From there, you can make your way back down, and the rain is still coming down today. It is going to be this kind of day. You can decide we can take a break, or we can go towards the end, depending on how everybody's feeling. Would you feel more of a break or near the end this evening? We do seem to have an unstable connection. I do not know why, but I have been monitoring it. Our stream is still up.
Yeah, we're doing all right now. I mean, I could go either way. It's up to you three or four with you.
Yeah, I'm good continuing.
Everybody in a good space? If so, we'll take a 5-minute break and let folks go do the things they need to do, and we'll come back.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be back in 5 minutes, folks. We'll be right there. And as soon as I remember how a mouse works. Bear, we actually are going to call it a night. We found ourselves in a very odd situation, so we're going to call it at that. We're going to catch up with you in a couple weeks. Be in the Discord. I'm just going to say that we're going to make it a short impromptu goodbye with everybody kind of feeling out of it and not, kind of sick. So everybody say byes to everybody in Enferacuse.
Later, all. Have a
Bye.
safe weekend.
You all take care. Keep being awesome, and we hope to see you sometime soon.